All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? Great rise, great rise, great rise in the moonlight, beloveds. You know who this is. You know what it is. It's your girl, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate, and it is Melanated Monday. It's Melanated Monday. Okay. Um, Tonight's show, provided you all participate, is going to be very different than any show that I have had previously because it's about you specifically. Like you are going to determine what this show is about. Okay, so hopefully you all come in and you have some questions that you want answered. And I want to be fair and just leave it broad so you can ask whatever you want to ask, being mindful to remember who you asking. Okay, y'all, because you know how you already know. Okay, um, please try to be respectful because I'm going to try to answer all of the questions that are posed. If I don't have an answer, that will be the answer that I don't have an answer. Okay. If it's none of your business, that will be the answer. That's none of your business. Okay. So, um, y'all come on in. Get your pen and paper ready. Get your questions ready. Do whatever you need to do. We're going to let this be a freestyle on your behalf, if you will. So I hope you all come with some good questions. Like I said, I'm leaving it open. If I have an answer for you, I will answer. You're going to get an answer. I'm going to say that. You're going to get an answer. You may not like the answer. The answer could be completely wrong. It could be humorous, whatever. Um, I'm being transparent. So whatever you want to talk about today, this is on you. So come on in. I see you over here on YouTube. Facebook, you showed up and then went out. So y'all come on back in so we can have this conversation because I'd hate to do this by myself. What's going on, Phoenix Rising? Thank you, loved one, for being here. I appreciate you. I don't know if you saw the title, if you heard me or not, but today is just Q&A. I just want to find out what's on your mind. Ask the questions about whatever it is on your mind. Doesn't matter what it is. I will give you an answer to the best of my ability. I will also open the phone lines if you have a question that is um, more than a minute for me to respond to. I will answer it that way. So feel free if you would like to call in and ask the question, you can do that. The number is 770 906 5271. 770 906 5271. If you would like to call in with your question. I will start it because I had a question that was posted on Facebook under, and maybe I should wait for them to come in so I can actually answer it for them. But one of the question that was asked dealt with men and oral sex. So I'm going to address it. You asked, I'm going to address it. Like I said, this is very open tonight. Whatever it is you want to know, it doesn't matter what the subject is. If I can respond to it, I will. If I don't know the answer, that's the answer. Okay. If you ask me something and it's none of your business, that's the answer. Fair? I think tonight's going to be really fun. What's going on, Ms. Zyke? Appreciate you for being here. You might like tonight's show. It's just kind of freestyle. I said I'm just answering questions. He says, "On now, right?" I know I set myself up. I know I did, but I want to, make it a little lighter. Have a little fun if you can. Just and still be adult, still be respectful or whatever. But I want you all to ask questions. So go ahead, ask your questions. Again, if you want to call in and ask a question, feel free. The number is 770-906-5271. 770-906-5271. Again, the first question that I did receive on the Facebook post A gentleman asked, why do some men not like to give oral sex and some don't like to receive it? See, that's more of a question that a man should answer, but I can only give you my thoughts, having never been a man. Word on that one. Okay, having never been a man, as far as one not liking to give it, um, there could be many reasons. It could be the person to whom or the person who is requesting it. It could be about their cleanliness. It could be about their attitude, their spirit, whatever. Um, what a person eats has a great effect on how they taste. Let's just be real. Okay. What they eat has a great effect on how they taste. What's going on, Coco? Thank you, love, for being here. I appreciate you. That could be a reason. Um, he could have never had that experience. He could never have done it before, or he could have done it and had a bad experience and was told he wasn't no good at it, so he doesn't do it. Um, he could just not like female parts, period. He, it could just be that. He don't like it. Um, a lot of time now I have heard, some men, I know a couple that don't like it either way. And it's more biological, and it's because of what happens with a woman monthly that they just can't see themselves being face to face knowing what happens with her every month. Okay. um it's a texture issue for some. um yeah, some people just think that it's nasty, just flat out nasty. As far as giving. Now, some of those men will also be willing to receive, but then I know some who don't even like to receive it. I don't get it, but they occur. Okay, they out here. So to answer that part, what's wrong with y'all? Okay, so for the men who don't like to receive it, um, they could have had a bad experience. There could have been a bad experience. The person that they got it from may have had too many teeth in their mouth, may not have done it properly. It may not have been a pleasant experience whatsoever. I know, right, Mike? It may not have been a pleasant experience for them at all. Um, that's all I got on that. I don't know. I don't know. If there could be a psychological issue sometimes, and I know this is gonna sound funny and strange, but sometimes men, since we're talking about that, men won't do certain things and don't want certain things done to them because it's trauma based. So you have to take that into consideration also. If they have had a sexual encounter, a molestation or rape, some type of attack, something happened to them physically in that area, whatever, if they've experienced some type of trauma dealing with that, then they may have a reserve in giving and receiving. They may not want to feel obligated, like if they were forced into doing it, be it give it or receive it at any time in their younger days or whatever, it was against their will. There's going to be a protective guard, emotional guard against it. So we can consider that too. Some men just don't like the feel of it. Like I said, I think that may just go about, maybe a previous experience. There's just no pleasure in it. Some men just don't get off with that. They don't. It's not the same. There's a difference between a oral grip and a vaginal grip. There's a different type of connection. There's a different energy that is being shared. Oh, I done went offline. Look at this. Let's see if we can get back on here. Okay. See, they ain't want to hear all that. But there could be a different type of energy between the two, the differences. Some want to be held and, be a little bit more intimate that way, and you don't really get the same type of experience that you would if it's just an oral exchange. So that's just my thought. If you know anything other than what I just said, as a man, please fill us in. Call me 770-906-5271 or type it in. Why do some men not like oral sex? They don't like to give it, nor do they like to receive it. Like I said, myself, having never been a man, I can't answer that. I can answer that, and me being transparent, I was married and my husband didn't like it. He didn't want to receive it. He wasn't a giver either, but he eventually figured out he probably need to learn how to do that. So he learned it. Just, I'm gonna leave it at that. But that wasn't his thing. I dated somebody else, prior to him that, or no, after him, sorry, that also wasn't into that. Like that wasn't their thing as far as receiving. Would they give? They would give, but receiving is like, yeah, I don't really like it. It's cool, but I'm good. So it just really depends. He said, I like to give it way more than receive it. Okay, so as a man, what is it about the receiving that you don't like? So I'm glad you shared that. Thank you so much. What is it about the receiving that you don't like? And is it based on previous experiences that you may have had that weren't pleasant? The person didn't do it right, might have been a scratch or two with some teeth that shouldn't have been in the way, whatever. What was it? Because now I'm curious. So don't be shy. Like I said, this is an adult platform. We're being honest. What's going on, Mr. Williams? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. This is a very open show today. This is a Q&A. So the show is about whatever you make it about. So whatever you want to ask me, ask me. I'll give you answers to the best of my ability. I was just responding to a question dealing with oral sex. A gentleman asked about it. Why do some men like it? Some men don't like it. Either way, they don't want to give it nor receive it. What could possibly be the reason? Yes, my book is on Amazon. It's on Amazon Kindle. If you want an actual physical copy of it, let me know and I'll get that. I'll get it to you. Says Mike says, never ate pussy a day in my life. Never even tried it. Not my thing. Take it all day though. I hear you. I hear you. And like I say, it's just a matter of preference. And if that's something that you enjoy, then you enjoy it. If you don't, you don't. The only thing that I see there being a conflict is if you are with a person that likes to give or receive and you don't do either. Like y'all are missing that. There could be a little issue with that. You know, I would say, of course, that would be something that you would want to talk about before you got to that point. Like, well, hold on, what you doing? You want to talk about it, see if there's a trauma, there's a fear, what is the concern? Just be honest, be open and honest about it, and keep it moving. You say, I just enjoy the reaction from the woman. I like it as get get wake me up for round 3. Okay, some words missing, but I think I got it. I just enjoy the reaction from the woman. I like it more so. Oh, I like it more so as get wake up. Okay. Get wake up for round 3. I understand it wasn't written right, but I get it. I got you. Okay. Mike says a lot of guys got to do it to live. I don't mean to laugh, but I've heard it be said. Yes. So, yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it be said. If you're gonna live here, you got to. Yeah, I've heard it. So if that ain't something you trying to do, bruh, you better get your own spizot. You better make sure, you better make sure you are living the way you need to be living so you don't have to worry about giving something you ain't trying to give. Okay, what's going on, son? I see you came to the adult show. So this is the Q&A. I'm attempting to answer any question that is being asked. I did say, I gave the warning. Um, you may ask me a question that I don't have an answer to, and then that's going to be the answer. Or you may ask me a question that's none of your damn business, and that's going to be the answer. Okay, I will do my best to answer the questions. I'm gonna, ask you all to just be respectful, but I'm gonna do what I do. Oh yeah, you walked into some shit. So um, yeah. I mean, it didn't have to be, but that's what you just walked into that because it was a question asked about oral sex. Please don't, please please don't ask your mom about oral sex. Don't do that. Don't you don't do that. You could ask me anything else, but no. You said love you, bye, bet, love you too, bye bye then. Simon says I only like it done to set it off for the further round, so to speak. Got you. I said let's foreplay. You say I'm gone. Bye. No worries, Simon. I got you. That's my son. Like, nope, love you. Bye. I'm gone. Bye. Understood. But again, this is about anything you want to ask, anything you want to know, just ask the question and I will answer it to the best of my ability. Okay. This show is about you all. You said you love doing it though. That's what's up. So I'm sure that you wouldn't have an issue, or the girl or woman, wife, whatever that you are engaged with, is very happy about that. Very happy about it. Now, I have heard of years ago, many years ago, I have heard of some men who are just monsters. Okay. Gentlemen, let me give you some advice. Let me do this. Okay. Since we all grown here, we gonna have some fun, but let me give you some advice, some encouragement, instruction, if you will. Um, the term eating out is not to be taken literally. You understand? I don't need you to show up with utensils. I don't need you to show up with a mind frame that you're about to receive a meal that is meant to be devoured. That's not what that means. Okay? That's that's not what that means. Exactly. Some some of you all are going at it a little too rough. A little too rough. This is not meant to be a whole meal, a snack, a chewable. It's not meant for that. You know, it's not meant for that. If she's, pushing back and, giving certain eye looks and making noises that are not pleasant to the ear, that's an indication that there's pain being experienced, and you probably need to stop before she inflicts some pain to you. Okay, I'm just saying you got to do this thing a little more gently, with purpose, on purpose, with purpose, and it's not to cause her injury. Okay, and then the same would go to the ladies who believe that because it looks like a chocolate bar, that you're supposed to attempt to eat it, to bite down on it. And that's not the case. Again, on purpose, with purpose, you have to be gentle with that thing. You have to, you know, do right by it. You have to do right by it. Let me read these comments so I can stop. He says, solo dolo at the moment, but when I am in a situation, I am hungry like the American werewolf in London. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That whole werewolf shit. See, you have to calm that. don't werewolf it. Don't werewolf it. Don't do that. Don't do that. But I got what you said. Um, G Walker, I saw you come on in. What's going on, loved one? I appreciate you. I said tonight is, oh, I know, love. Tonight is a Q&A, is about whatever. You all make the show. I am answering questions, dealing with whatever. If I have an answer, I will answer it. If I don't have an answer, that's the answer. Okay. You all are making the show. So if you don't ask no questions, I don't know what to tell you. Then the show gonna end. So let's keep it going, shall we? Phoenix, do you have any questions over here, love, other than if my book is available? Because yes, it's still available. What's going on, Calvin? Appreciate you, love, for being here. Hopefully, you have some questions that you would like answered. It doesn't matter what it's about. It can be on any subject. Because I will attempt to answer everything that comes across here. If you ask me something that is none of your business, that's going to be the response. Okay? You say what it is. It is what you say it is. I'm waiting on y'all. Y'all are running the show tonight, trying to have a little fun with it. Yes, really. So whatever you ask me, I will attempt to give you an answer. Um, the warning is y'all know me. Okay, you know how I get down. You know how I respond. So if you're going to ask me something and it's going to involve your feelings, you might want to rethink it before you ask me. Rethink it. The name of my book is The Business of Marriage. Fuck Your Feelings. The Truth About Every Relationship. The Business of Marriage. Fuck Your Feelings. The truth about every relationship. And I'm also working on the second part of that book too, which is going to be pretty super dope actually. So I'm looking forward to that one. I won't tell you the name of it, but it's pretty super dope. Come on, y'all. If you got a question, you can either type it or feel free to call in. You can call in with your questions as well. 770-906-5271. Okay, Calvin says, why are most people offended when I ask about the LBGTQ community? Either they don't have an answer, they may be a part of it. Sometimes it could just be the way that you're asking, or what exactly are you asking about it? Because if you're asking a question in a way that it sounds like it's already judging, then it would get offended. So if it's something that you want to know about it, just be specific on be specific on the question. What exactly is it that you want to know? If you ask a question that sounds like you're trying to find a reason to judge, cast stones, demean, whatever, then they're gonna get defensive. You only get defensive when it feels like you're being attacked. So it might just be the way that you're asking the question. So hopefully that answered your question. You saying why are most people offended? But I said to answer as far as most people, there's a sensitivity with that because of the protective, with it being a protected class, and you have other people that look like us that are not under protective classes, that are not being given fairness and justice, if you will. But then you have that where it seems it's a decision that's being made on what you want to do, how you want to be, blah, 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 because you made that decision that you're a protected class, you got all this kind of stuff. There's more privilege that's being given to them than it is other folks, that look like us. There's no protection. So that also would be a reason why the most people would be offended about it. You know what I'm saying? Well, why are you talking about them when we got all of this that we need to be worried about? That kind of thing. So that's something else to consider. He said, they are quick to call me homophobic. I'm sure. I say it could just be the way that you're asking the question. People use that term a little too loosely. It don't mean, just because you ask a question doesn't mean that you're homophobic. That means you're scared of it. If you're asking a question, that means you ain't scared of it. You just want an answer to what it is you don't know. So it's not necessarily that. Simon said, it seems like you can't say anything without being canceled, so to speak. Absolutely, that's a fact. So I'm waiting on my turn, because you already know how I do. I'm waiting on it. So look for me on another platform. But yeah, they're, like I said, because they've made a lot of things classified and protected classes, and people are so much more emotional and sensitive nowadays, and it's those sensitive people that have the favor of other people who are using them to push an agenda. So because of that, they got to be careful. You got to be careful about what you say. I don't want you to mess with my money. I don't want you messing with my position. I don't want you messing with my whatever it is. So I'm gonna block you because of one of my folks that I'm protecting because they making sure I get this check. If one of them get offended, um, they're gonna take away my money. So I'm gonna have to cancel your ass so it don't accidentally happen. You don't accidentally on purpose, whatever. It don't happen because you can't mess with my agenda. That's why that happens. Calvin says they are quick to run to defend them. Absolutely. Well, that's why. How would you address a group of individuals that question your sexuality when you really don't accept their ways? To question, I mean, are you saying question my, or is that general? Is it how would you address a group of individuals that question your sexuality, mine, when you really don't accept their ways? Who I sleep with is my business. There's no need for me to put it out into the world. There's no need for me to have a discussion about who I'm intimate with. That's between myself and the person I'm intimate with. Who you decide to lay with, under, in between, on top of, or whatever, that's your business. The problem is you are making your decision on who you wish to be with a whole political movement. You want to be protected. See, my thing, here's my thought. My thought with that is if you got to go through all of these measures to be protected, to do something that you have a right to do that really ain't nobody else's business, that something in your mind is telling you that you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. You need to be protected against your own self because you know you're wrong. That's just my thought. Anything different from theirs? Indeed. Well, whatever. Like I said, but I'm gonna put this back in your ear and in your mind is because of all of what's happening, it's going to come a time where those people who are not part of that tribe are going to be looked at as abnormal. There's a whole replacement theory going on. Okay, keep it in mind. He said, the only thing I will say though is that Black LGBT folk don't seem to be as protected, but I will bow out with that. But you are absolutely correct because they Black first. See, that's what the Black people don't pay attention to, or that's the part that they keep forgetting. Even though you are in a so-called protected class, they first see you as Black. I don't give a damn what you're screwing. I don't give a damn what you classify yourself as, who you want to be, what you relate to, gender wise or whatever. I don't care about all of that. The first thing I see about you is your Black ass. And that's what we're dealing with. That's why. You said, are you saying that the heterosexual community are going to become the minority? Yes, I am. That's what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. Veronica, what's going on, loved one? I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. That is exactly what I'm saying. Yes. What else we got? Come on with them. It's hard to write a book. Is it hard to write a book? It wasn't for me. It's not, because I tend to write the way I speak. So that'll give you an indication what that book gonna be like. But it's not. I would say if you are interested in writing a book, that you just start writing. You write the thoughts as they come into your mind, and then you worry about putting it together later. Just write out your thoughts. So no, it's not really hard. At least not for me. It's not really hard. You're telling a story. You're telling whatever it is you are trying to express. You're just writing it down. And like I said, if you don't concentrate or worry about the structure of it per se, just write out the thought. It makes it a lot easier to do. Yes, indeed, Calvin. OMG. Yes, sir. Come on, y'all. You say, okay, on how I speak. Okay, on how I speak. Is that a question or you that's your statement? Just write. However you speak, write it. However you hear it in your head, write it down just that way. You can always go back and edit whatever you want to edit if you decide to edit it. You might not. Leave it as is. If it's raw, that's how you heard it, that's how you see it. Go with it. That's what I did. So it seems that this community is growing and adding other letters. Absolutely. What are the new letter meanings? Um, I'm not sure. I know there's an IA and a P that's also attached to that. And I believe that P is dealing with pedophilia. So yeah. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what the I and the A are. Not sure at all. What's going on, George? Thank you, love, for being here. I appreciate you. You said I was going to hire a company to write me high quality book for 300 just to save me time. Why? What rush are you in? Take your time. There's no rush. Just do it yourself. Nobody is going to be able to express your thought more clearly than you. You can hire somebody to edit. Like I said, if you need that done, but just write your thoughts. They're yours. Get your point across. Yes, pedophilia. Absolutely. Yep. I'm saying we are not having proper dialogue with each other. We're not doing what we need to be doing as far as paying attention to what's going on around us and to us and because of us on our behalf. All of this, we're not paying attention. All these things are happening right in our face, and we just keep accepting it. And we're accepting it because we're not saying anything. We're not doing anything about it because of the fear, like you said, of being shut down, the fear of being ostracized and cast away and whatever. That fear is allowing everything to happen. Fear is allowing everything to happen because it's causing people to be frozen, to just sit back and watch and, oh my God, I can't believe that's happening. Well, what are you doing to stop it? Oh my God, a train is coming and I'm on the track, or I see somebody on the track. Oh my God, they're going to get hit. Why don't you go push their ass off the track then? Go tell them to get off the track. But oh my God, you just sit back and watch in awe. Why? People are afraid to do anything. And history has shown us what happens when people start doing stuff. Brother Ron Nail is in the building and wants to be brought on camera. Let's get it. Come on in. Come on in. I'm adding you. I ain't scared. I should have told you all. You could have asked for that too. Rebecca, I didn't even see you pop up in there, loved one. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. What's going on? Let me read these other comments. It says, as a school teacher, I see parents of the same gender, two moms, two dads. It's like the world is becoming more desensitized. Absolutely. That's the whole point. It is to make us desensitized to things. It's to make us um, not be able to tell the difference between what is right and what is wrong, what is righteous and what is wicked. Is to completely cause confusion so that we start accepting the things that before now we knew were wicked. Well, now we can justify why it's not wicked because all these other things are happening. All these laws are being passed. All these permissions are being given. All these rights are being given. So we're like, oh, okay, well, since that's going on, then it must be okay. Yeah, no, it's not. But they keep happening because we are being made um, to be desensitized to a lot of things because the more you become desensitized, the more you become controllable because you're going to sit back and watch things happen. Period. You're not going to fight against the system. You're not going to fight against the agenda. You're not going to be a troublemaker. You're not going to be a revolutionary. You're not going to do that. You're going to be part of the plan by simple acceptance, by simple silence, by not moving, by a decision that's not made, by not making a decision has been made. So because you're not doing it, you're going to get put where you're needed. If you say nothing, then a voice is going to be made for you. A sound or response is going to be made on your behalf because you said nothing. You didn't do anything. Okay, well, because you didn't do nothing, then we're going to do this. And then you can't complain because you didn't do anything. But that's what we do. We complain. We don't do shit, but we complain because something got done to us, but we ain't do nothing to prevent it. So that's what's going on here. Hello, love. What's going on, Coral Beach? What's going on, family? I appreciate you. Did I miss something? What's going on right now? What's going on? Talk to me.
You said one point. When you don't do something, you did something.
Absolutely. A whole lot.
If you don't vote, don't complain.
We ain't even gonna deal with that vote.
No, but you said it. You actually did say that though. If you don't vote, don't complain.
I hear you, but we ain't gonna talk about the
If you
vote.
don't get up in the morning, don't complain that the kitchen didn't get clean.
Now, I hear you.
If you don't get up in the morning and go to work, don't complain that you don't have any money.
Indeed. Hold on 1 second. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. So I was just in meditation and was asking for there to be less confusion. I want freedoms and want them protected, but at the same time, I don't want to teach confusion and have it to be the trend. Absolutely. Um, we are in the times of confusion. And like I said, the confusion is happening because of the silence. The confusion is happening because of the fear. The confusion is happening because of the disobedience. Let's start with that. Is people generally don't want truth. They don't want to hear anything that's going to contradict what they feel, what they want, what they desire. They don't want to hear it. So if you deal with it spiritually, I don't even say biblically, if you deal with it spiritually, since you don't want to you don't want to hear the truth, you don't want to see the truth, you don't want to walk in the light, I'm gonna make sure that you don't. I'm gonna give you the mind of confusion, I'm gonna give you the sight of darkness, I'm gonna give you the hearing of deafness, I'm gonna give you all that. You don't want to say nothing, I'm gonna make you mute. All of these things are happening. It's been prophesied that it's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen, but it's been happening because a decision was made not to make a decision on whatever it is. It continues to happen. We are the main, we're the reason for the confusion, and we are also the, see what's the other part? It's like the cause and the antidote.
Cause and effect.
Right. For the confusion. We're causing the confusion. And confusion is being caused because of us. So it still has to deal with us. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean like us as one people, as any particular people. I'm saying generally speaking, we're not doing anything. But go ahead, finish saying what you're saying.
If you bury your head in the sand, how do you know what's going around? We bury our head because we don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, even being a pastor, I learned that you have to go outside the box and you got to stay outside the box. Because if you just stay inside your four walls, you're literally putting your head in the sand because things are being passed
right
at the church body. And I'm not saying the four walls, I'm saying the body of Christ. As a church body, if you do not speak up and come together, things will be passed and you will not have the right to stop it. Because in the beginning, you had the right to stop everything. But we as body of Christ, we bury our head in the sand because we don't say, we don't want to touch that. Well, then why are you not standing up for what is right? You're allowing the dark side to literally do what it said it's going to do.
Absolutely.
I'm going to control the world.
Right.
So if you are there, then why don't you say something and do something to piggyback on what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. I got you. Absolutely. What's going on, Fraser Beats? Thank you, loved one, for being here. You should call. You should call. I said tonight's show is different than any other show because it's a Q and A. It's about whatever you all bring up. We're gonna talk about it. Whatever it is. If you got questions, I got answers. And the answer might not be right. That's okay. I might not have an answer. That's okay. Or the answer might be none of your damn business. And that's okay too. We want to have fun, but still edify. So we can still laugh and learn. And that's what I'm here to do. You all know, even when I'm being serious, I'm gonna find a way to make you laugh. I'm gonna find a way to make you think. I'm here to provoke you. That's why I want you all to come with your questions. You may ask me something that's going to provoke me to think. I'm going to have to say, I don't know the answer to that. Let me think on it. I'll come back to you. But
I have
this
a
is your
question.
platform. Yes.
How can we teach our young people or even ourselves to literally stand up for ourselves, even when we're being bullied? Reference the shooting at the Virginia College, where 3 football players were shot and killed. One was injured and a female was injured because they picked on a young man and he said, I'm going to get even. And he literally brought a gun on a bus after they had a trip to DC.
So your question is, how do we teach our children to stand up for themselves?
Yes, without using guns and knives.
You teach children to stand up for themselves by standing up. You don't have to use guns and that, but sometimes, let's be honest, because sometimes you got to go to war, which means you ain't gonna go to war with no paper, no pleas, no begging, no just prayer. You can't go into war without being prepared to fight. So I'm not gonna say you can't, don't do that, but we have to teach them how to stand up by standing up. We have to show them what it looks like. We have to be prepared emotionally, spiritually, financially, educationally, all those ways. We have to be able to say, now, here are your tools. Here's your weapon. Here's your shield. This is how you utilize this. If this comes, this is the tool you use to combat that. If this comes, this is the tool you use to combat that. It's not about, go put your hands up, go get your weapon out, and just start shooting or whatever. It's not about that. But we're not giving them any other thing to hold on to, anything. It doesn't have to be tangible, but it has to be something that they can relate to, they can process, they can remember. We're not giving them anything to put into their memory bank. We're not giving them anything to put into their think tank. We're not giving them that. We're giving them response. We're giving them emotion. Do that. We're not giving them think. We're not giving them how to be logical. We're not giving them that. So they're not going to know how to do that if we don't give them that. We have to be the example of what logic looks like. We have to be the example of what being educated looks like. And I don't mean just because you got 99 degrees. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what you know innately and what in books and what you know out in the street and just all of that. We're not balanced enough. So because we're not balanced enough, we're not going to teach our children how to be balanced because we don't have it. We don't have what we need to give them to be what we want them to be.
So we're failing them.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, we're failing them.
So as a parent, we are, yes, use your word. But if we as a parent is not educated, then we literally have failed many generations.
Absolutely. Understanding that the education that we've been given was minimal in the first place. The education that we've been given was for a purpose of keeping us in a particular confine, in a particular mindset. period, which means you have to go outside of what the book says. You have to go outside of what somebody gave you access to. You have to find a way to know something else, to remember. It's that part. We know so much more than we think we do, but we don't remember that we already know because we've been conditioned to learn something outside of what we already know. So we know that we know what we're taught, but we need to unlearn some things that we're taught and remember what we already know. If we utilize that mind, that spiritual mind, and operate from what we naturally already know, then we are able to arm our children. We're able to give them the tools they need to be able to stand up because they can see it, they can feel it, they can resonate with it, they can remember it. But right now, we like, well, if you step on your foot, just punch him in the mouth. Really? Or even say use your words. They only know so many words. Most of them begin with fuck you, bitch, asshole. You know what is that? They're what the words they know, the power that they have is a negative power. So the words that they're speaking out to somebody is more infecting themselves than it is deflecting the situation. It's causing more harm to themselves than it is, protecting them from the situation because they're not understanding, overstanding, or understanding the power of words. They're not overstanding, understanding the power of frequency and vibration. They don't get that. They don't know what it means to be grounded. They don't know that when you say a word, you are actually casting spells. They don't know that. They're not being taught that. All they know is they're saying something. They're talking. They're speaking. They're communicating. That's all they know. They're remembering, they're reciting words that they've been taught. They know how to put certain words together, but those certain words is creating a spell. It's creating something. So there's an energy, there's a frequency in that. They don't know nothing about that. Most of us don't know anything about that. We just talk because we learned how to talk. We learn what words go together to make a sentence. We learn what verb to put in here, how to connect this to that and put it out there. Did you hear what I said? You understood what I said? Because you got a noun and a verb. That's main stuff, the main thing. You got a noun and a verb. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got that, then I said something. But that's it. You don't understand exactly the power of what you just put together. You just know you put them together and they work because that's the way you were taught. So, in order to teach our children how to stand up righteously, we got to stand up righteously. They're going to follow us. If we're doing nothing, guess what they about to do? If we fighting with the teacher, why you ain't put my son in the first row? What? If we're doing that in front of them, they're going to repeat it. They're going to do what they see us do because we're the adults. So if the adult is doing that, then it must be okay for me to do it because, that's mama, that's daddy. This is what they do. This is what they represent. So yeah, we're going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to use my words, but the words I'm going to use is the words that mama said when she called this woman a bitch. So I'm use a bitch. Come on now. We are failing them. We have failed them, and we will continue to fail them until we take accountability for what we've already done. We have to take accountability for what we've already done and what we have the ability, capability, and responsibility of doing. We're not doing that.
Okay. So we're looking at, let's go to the school system. The school system is coming out with so many different type of ideology.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As a parent, the PTL meeting that you and I grew up with when our mama and daddy were right there and they came together, it was like, no, yes, no. But they was like, no, because we want to progress our children, my child. I want them to learn more. I don't want them to be all confused about who they are.
Right.
I want them to understand. But we're allowing the school system to teach our children anything and everything because they want to. So to piggyback again, we are failing our children. Here's something else I found out. I was watching Fox News. Do you know that the military is below 23% acceptance rate?
Mm. Wow.
So you're literally saying one out of every 25 is able to get into the military because several things. One, their physical fitness, their drug screening, they're able to pass the ASVAB test, and they can get a clearance.
Mm.
If our young men and women, our young kids, our young children, cannot even get accepted in the military because of their character, do you honestly think they're going to be accepted in getting a Fortune 500 job?
I mean, is that a question to answer, or
Yeah, no, it's a question to ask.
you want an answer to that? So you're saying that the young adults that are trying to get into the military are
Yes.
unable to get into the military because of their
The four things. Their physical fitness.
okay.
Can't pass the drug screen.
Okay.
The TA.
Okay.
Can't pass the ASVAB.
Okay.
And can't get a clearance.
Okay. So their physical fitness and that drug stuff, they probably go together. See, here's the thing. We're overlooking the fact that everything connects to everything. What is being shown externally is the result of what's happening internally. We're seeing you can't get in, you can't do this, you can't pass that, you can't do it. But why? Why is it you can't pass the test? Why is it that you are 90 pounds overweight? Why is it that you can't pass a drug test? Why is it that we're not dealing with the why? We're dealing with the because. We want to look at the result of, but not look at the cause of. There's a reason for it. We have to address the reason. Remember, I would talk about the rotten fruit falling from the tree, and people always want to cut down the tree. The tree is rotten because the apple is rotten, the fruit is rotten. Cut down the tree; it ain't no good. Okay, but it's not the problem of the tree. What you fail to realize or deal with, that fruit was attached to the limb, to a leaf, which is attached to the limb, which is attached to the body, the trunk. The trunk came from a seed in the ground, right? Did I skip any part?
No,
Right.
we got it.
Okay, but you're looking at the fruit. You blaming the fruit for being rotten. The problem is not that the fruit is rotten. The problem is that the soil in which the seed was put in order for the trunk to grow, to sprout its limbs and grow these leaves to produce this seed, which created this fruit, was wrong. It was bad. We didn't deal with the soil. We blamed the fruit for being rotten, but it couldn't have been rotten if it wasn't for the soil not being tilled. The soil didn't have the proper nutrient in it to produce a healthy enough seed that would produce a healthy enough piece of fruit. It wasn't there. We're missing all of that. That's the part that holds us accountable. You want to look at what happened. You want to look at the fact that these kids are on drugs. These kids are overweight. These kids don't know how to read. These kids don't know how to do this and that and other. These kids are fighting all the time. We want to look at that, but don't want to look at, well, but why are they doing this? What happened? What's causing this to happen? Because once we look at that, once we sit down and accept the fact that the reason that this is happening is because I, that's the accountability. I didn't do. I failed them. I neglected. I abused. I refused. I couldn't, whatever it is. I can't blame my kids for being rotten if I raised them. Period. But this is what we're doing. We are blaming the fruit, whatever it is, for being rotten when we're the ones that were responsible for taking care of the soil. We didn't do that. Let me read these comments real quick. Rebecca says, I was just thinking it's balance and wisdom through the balance. Absolutely. And speak from the love of the spirit that is the life in you. Okay, girl. For the love of the spirit. Yes, indeed. And I can't think of anyone as being rotten or wow. I was just thinking of the nutrients in the soil before I logged on there. That's what I'm saying. Confirmation. Absolutely. It is about the soil. It is about being accountable for what we are trying to produce. So here's the thing. You know, people always say what they want. You know, you want a child that's going to do this. You want your house to look a certain kind of way. You want to make a certain amount of money. We know what we want, but we don't do what's necessary in order to ensure the results of what we say we want. I can't say I want my children to grow up to be powerful children and have a strong mind of their own and be able to make these decisions and be able to rule the world or whatever. I can't say that and not have prepared them to be able to do that. Whether or not they choose to do it is different. If I didn't make them able to do it, then I can't be mad when they don't. When they get overlooked from these jobs, I say, I want my kids to be able to have, but I didn't prepare them to be able to get them. I can't be mad because I didn't do my job. I did not prepare them to be able to be in the running to get it. That's my fault. It's accountability. We have failed them because we refuse to be accountable, because we don't want to hear the truth. We don't want to acknowledge it. We want those pretty things to be said to us. We want to see these shiny things. We want to feel good about the liar that we are. We want to feel good and justify what we are. So we're not going to let nobody tell us nothing different. That's it. Which is why we now have the whole mind of confusion and deception. I'm going to give you the spirit of that because that's what you want. You don't want to know the truth. You want to be deceived. So I'm going to give you the mind of deceit. I'm going to give you a deceived mind. I'm going to give you that. You don't want to hear the truth, so everything you hear is going to be a lie. Right. That's it. We asked for this because we don't want to be responsible. We don't want to be held accountable. We don't want to be forced into making any change. We don't want to be knowing. We want to stay ignorant. Why? Because they said ignorance is bliss, but ignorance is only bliss to the person that can use the one that's ignorant. The person who is ignorant doesn't know. You're not going to be happy just by not knowing, because not knowing means you can't prepare yourself. You can't be guarded. You can't arm yourself. You don't know what you're walking into. You don't know what to do. You can't control your own self because you don't know. But somebody else know you don't know. They happy that you ignorant. That's their bliss. Stay ignorant so they can be happy. Rebecca says it is good for the kids to see. Go ahead.
Go ahead, read it. Read
So
that.
it is good for the kids to see you as a parent thrive, then they can see a way. Absolutely. Absolutely. They have to. Here's the thing. Children look at their parents as a reflection of self. We should look at our kids also as a reflection of self. If they don't see us doing anything, how you think they see themselves? I, I'm gonna be like that. Mama ain't doing nothing. Daddy ain't doing nothing. Man, he ain't even here for real. I'm gonna be like that. Children naturally want to grow up and be like their parents. It's natural. I want to be like my parent because we're their heroes. We're the first thing that they have to look at to emulate. We're the first example of life. We're the first example of anything. They want to be like us. They want to make us happy, right? But if we're not giving them something that shows their reflection and is not a light reflection, if we're not giving them that, then they see nothing. They see themselves as nothing. So that's what they do. I didn't see nothing in the mirror. I saw blackness in the mirror. It was dark. I didn't even see my shadow. Wasn't nothing moving because it was dark. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do and repeat what I see. I'm going to be what I see. If I see nothing, I'm going to be nothing. I'm going to do nothing. That's it. Let me see. Fraser Beat says the school system is nothing but a 12-year daycare. Ooh, we parents need to teach children how to meditate so they can find out who they are. Absolutely. The clubs and friendships only hold back their truest form. Let me see, their truest form of causing depression when they hate their own company later on in adulthood. Absolutely. Absolutely. You are so correct. But most parents don't know how to meditate. They don't know what that is. That's the sad part. We're moving more into the consciousness of meditating. We're moving more so into that realm, and I'm glad of that, into that awareness that we need to be doing it. So it'll be helpful. But yeah, we have to teach them by doing it. We have to involve them in it. We can't just, tell them to go do it. We have to involve them in doing so. What's going on, T Hart? Thank you, love, for being here. Yes, indeed. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Rebecca says, I was looking at the Agora school program to where the children are let to choose their own learning and topics and focus on their day. And these children have this free spirit program. See, these children who have this free spirit program is flourishing. The children are finding their interest and following their passion. That's what's up. That's what's up. But we are so. Oh, it's a lot of responses. We're so used to having being conditioned to operate solely in one specific kind of way, one type of method. We are hindering the free spirit. We're hindering the spirit from being free, from being able to explore itself. The spirit wants to even explore its own self, and we're stifling it because we want to control it. We want to be able to control everything about everybody. We need that. Get out of here. Let's see. Okay, I think I read all that. Give me a moment. Yeah, okay, this stuff is repeating. Yep. Okay. Again, if you all have any other questions, I hope that you do. But if you would like to call in, feel free to do so. 770-906-5271. 770-906-5271. If you want to call in with your question, whatever it is, feel free to do so. 770-906-5271. Sabak, what's going on, loved one? I appreciate you for being here. Again, tonight's discussion is whatever you want to talk about. It's a Q&A. It's wide open. Okay. So whatever you want to ask, feel free to ask. Hopefully I will have an answer for you. And if my answer is I don't know, then that's the answer. If my answer is none of your damn business, then that's the answer. Okay. But I'm gonna try to give you an answer. Okay. Well, I will give you an answer, but you might not like it. You might not like it, but I'm gonna give you what I know. Okay. Again, if you want to call in, come on with it, y'all. We got a couple of minutes. 770-906-5271. You said it is nice seeing you and hearing your strong foundedness. I like that word. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you. I catch you every now and again with your within the group. I see you. Yeah, this is just repeating. I don't know why it keeps going back and forth there, but I appreciate you for being here, loved one. If you all have any questions, come on with it. Because when I close it out, that's gonna be it. I can't tell you what I'm gonna do this type of thing again. So I warned you ahead of time. Come prepared. This is it's wide open. You can ask whatever it is you want to ask, at least for another. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. It's 8:05 already, so we already passed time, but I'll give you another 5 minutes to ask any question you want to ask, and I will give you an answer to the best of my ability. So last time around, if you would like to call in, feel free to do so. The number is 770-906-5271. Rebecca, you are so very welcome. You are so very welcome. I appreciate you for being here and participating. A lot of people will show up and won't say shit. Okay, but I'm glad that you were here, love, and participated. Thank you so much. And thank you for that. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Um, any more questions? Any more comments or concerns about anything that we've already talked about, or something else that you would like to speak on real quick? Let's get it. You got a couple minutes, and then we're gonna get on out of here. Because I wanted to try to do something a little bit different this time, just to see where you all were at, where you are in your head, what information you're looking for. I say it doesn't have to be anything serious. It could be, very playful, whatever. I don't care. It's on you. Um, Whatever you want to know, I will answer it. Y'all, look, I have never put this out like this. Okay, I've never given people the opportunity on my platform to ask me anything. So, uh, your time is dwindling. Again, 770-906-5271. Um, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I want to tell you, like I always tell you, I always appreciate you all for being here. You could be anywhere doing anything at any time for any reason, and you show up here, even if it's not all the time. Those of you who come, I appreciate you so much. I don't have, one of those super large followings or anything like that. But for those of you who come and support me on a regular basis, I appreciate that. It means everything. Those of you who come, you're here for a reason. Whatever is being spoken on at that time, it was for you, which is why you showed up. So I appreciate you for being obedient. Okay. So thank you, darling. I appreciate that. Why not? Right? Why not? All right, loved ones. Well, if you have no other questions, then I'm going to wrap it up. And I hope that you all have a great rest of your night and a blessed, beautiful, and powerful uh, sunrise. Okay. I love you on purpose with purpose. And until I see you again, love you, him. Yes, sir. Peace.